What is good, fam? Welcome back to the zone. Welcome to week 9 of the FBL. And so this week we'll be playing with the New Orleans Pelicans. And as you can see, our schedule is a bit of a mixed bag. We're going up against the 76ers. We're going up against the Magic, as well as the Nets, as well as the Timberwolves. So I will admit that we're probably going to struggle up against the 76ers and the Timberwolves, but hopefully we could get a few wins under our belt against the Magic as well as the Nets. Now, before we actually dive into the game, I do want to highlight some changes that took place beginning back in week 6, or towards the end of week 6. We did make some trades to get some depth to the team and make some adjustments as far as how our offensive scheme was panning out at that point in time. So I was very frustrated with the output from Lester Fuller as an example. What also came to mind is the fact that Derek Gadsden was really bringing down the team morale and how he wanted to be off the team essentially. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take a look at what you offered to us. And as you can see, his per 36, he only shot 9 points per game, and his estimated wins added was negative value compared to other folks like Miles, who has 6, Axel, who has 0.07, Mike Manis, who was also negative, and then we also have Stephen Lee, who was positive with 1.3. Even Calvin, who didn't get that much burn, had a positive value, and Zach had a positive value. Now Jay Bass, he didn't play much, so I would expect him to be negative, but even Henry Fisher, who doesn't get that much and they score around the same number of points from a per 36 perspective, Derek wasn't it. So I went to the Chicago Bulls. I saw Lior Bay, took a look at the points per game. It seems to be in line with Derek, but he has a higher overall, and it looks like from a defensive perspective he'll be better, so I decided to pull the trigger on that. And then for Mike, I definitely needed more defense in the paint, and so looking at the value, they seem to be very similar, with the exception of the fact that KC has better attributes when it comes to the defense, so we decided to pull the trigger in that regard as well. And then finally with Lester, I did take a look at Dario Floyd, try to see if we could get some better offensive attributes, to say the least, as well as defensive attributes on the perimeter, which it seemed that Dario checked the box, but he is 5'11", which is concerning to me. But then I was also taking a look at Yante Walker from the Hornets, which looked very appealing to me. He also has the attributes that I was looking for, as well as some of the defensive capabilities. But unfortunately, looking at the depth chart for the Hornets, it didn't make sense to trade them Lester to get Yante, because they have way more point guards / shooting guards than needed. So as a result, I decided to go with Dario Floyd mainly for the defensive perspective, but also I hoped that Dario would be able to provide us with some offense either off the bench or in the starting lineup, so we pulled that trigger as well. Now, one could argue that I could have did the same thing with the Bulls, but I didn't think about that at the time until after I was making the Dario trade, but it is what it is. So as you can see now, we have Stephen Lee, Miles, Axe, Zach, Dario, who makes up the 5th highest overall on the team, followed by KC Starks, Michael Kent, Henry Fisher, Lior Bay, and Igor Chuganayov. And so with this lineup, I'm hoping that we could get better traction when it comes to the defensive side of the house, because that's where we're the weakest. But hopefully with the changes that we made, we could also get better boards, as well as more scoring, not just in the paint, but also from the perimeter, because that's an area where we were weak before. Now, before I forget, we do have some folks on our target list, and we are considering trading Michael Kent for other pieces, but I'm really taking a look at Griffin Carl, mainly because he wants out of the Celtics, and he's 80 overall, 6'10". He feels like he's not getting enough play time, and he's averaging 6 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal, as well as a block per game, and he's shooting 50% from the field, as well as 33% from the 3, which is surprising for a power forward, at least of his stature being 6'10", and he's shooting 85% from the line, which I think is very attractive, and we can definitely use that. Now granted, the number of points that he gets is not up to par to, let's say, potentially a KC Stark, but let's say for argument's sake he does get more PT and he's impactful, we should see more from an offensive perspective than we are currently seeing with the trade that we have today. Now, secondly, I'm looking at Logan Willis because he's more in line with what we have from an asset perspective. And I say that because right now the Knicks currently have him as part of the G League, and he's really upset about it. And then from an attribute perspective, he appears to be a 3-level scorer, great defensive attributes, both in the interior as well as getting boards, which we need very badly. And we have the potential to either have him come out on the bench, or we could switch up the lineup depending on who we're going against and swap, let's say, KC Stark for Logan, depending on who he's protecting, because I think Logan is 7'7", so he's a 7'7" monster, which we could definitely use. We could probably have him play the 5 in the starting lineup, move Stephen Lee to the 4, which would then provide us with a more rounded group, with KC Stark coming off the bench at the 5 and having, assuming we keep Zach, coming at the 4 in that regard. But I'm probably thinking that we use Zach as a piece to get Logan, but we'll see how that pans out. Now, before we get into the game, I do want to note that the team experienced a few injuries. So Axe is currently out with a right hairline fracture on his hand, and then Zach also has the same injury, so both of those players are out. So as a result, we had to switch up our starting 5, which is the following. So we have Stephen Lee at the 5, Michael Kent at the 3, Lior Bay at the 2, KC Starks at the 4, and Miles at the 1. So this is going to be our very first game with this starting 5. So let's see how things pan out, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it.
Championships, and we talked a lot about home court and having that come postseason time. So you were absolutely aware of where you were because of the goals you've set. But I think that also changes depending on who you are as a team. If you're a championship caliber team that's won it, and maybe you're in the
points up on the board. Knocks it loose. And here we go with the Magic fast break. 1 up, 1 down, 2 points with his first shot this game. Here are the Pelicans with the ball. 4-point game. Boss. There he goes!
East versus West matchup tonight. First meeting of the year between these two.
Yeah, fun to see maybe.
Coming off that loss against Philadelphia.
You got to give him an A for effort. Just fell a little bit short in that one.
Well, it would have been really nice to get that win on the road, but no team ever happy with a loss.
Here's Red Hot. He picked up 33 points in their last win against Houston.
I'm not sure in that game if it was him or Dikembe Mutombo out there, guys. I was just hoping.
And Lee pulls it down. Lee's got his 8th rebound here tonight.
Oh, he just punches that.
Intercepted. Can they get it? And he lays it up and in. Boss passes to Lee, lays it up and banks it in. Some solid defense right there from Starks. Here's Floyd. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Good.
You can just.
It's rebounded by New Orleans. And here they come. Here's Floyd. The putback. Great positioning on the putback.
Yeah, but there's always this point you got to look at where did he also impact the game. It was on the rebounding end of the floor. A tremendous performance there. You know, that basket must be widening out right now 9 out of 10 times.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
And Lewis subbed in for the natural. Boss passes to Kent. Just under 3.5 minutes play. What a jam! Lewis. Pelicans pull it in.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
D has, and it's affected the team. That's the bottom line.
Here's Freak. Lewis, left side. Here's Freak. And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up. Pelicans leading by 15. Here's Boss, and he drops in the layup off the glass. 3 on the clock. From the arc.
Hate to say it, but if they're still trailing at the final buzzer, a lot of this is going to be felt by him. His shooting tonight has just been atrocious. Yeah, pretty safe to say that this is the kind of game that you just want to flush as soon as you get done with it. Some players you can give that much room to, but not him.
Here's Boss. Lewis Cup. Oh! And the rebound goes to the Pelicans. Lee's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. To the inside. Boss. He makes his 9th shot of the game.
To develop prospects from other countries. Already, Academy graduates are playing Division I college basketball. And before long, NBA players should start emerging from that pipeline. League continues to reach out to find overlooked youngsters who have
outstanding, David. Thank you. Now here's Freak. 8 points his last outing. Here's Bottoms. Lewis on the wing. Drills the three-pointer. Lewis is good. Now here's Labissiere. Covered by Starks. Here's Flores. It falls for his 5th field goal tonight.
Shooting has really been there for him today, but he may have to take it upon himself to continue.
The Magic trail by 20. Lewis outside. Here's Red Hot. He's got 10. Tips it. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance point.
There, nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Boss
throughout the night, racking up 3 steals.
6 on the shot clock. The shot's good. Pulls it in.
And if that's the best look you can get on a possession, what a waste of a trip down the floor.
Yeah, see the coach?
The Magic trail by 20. A chance here to get a quick injury report.
Well, Kevin, I caught up with the head athletic trainer for the Pelicans, who told me that it's a hairline fracture in the finger and that they do have it immobilized. Coming back tonight is not an option for him, and they're hoping he won't have to miss too much time. Back to you, Kevin.
Good information, David. He's certainly been on our minds. Now, at least, Greg, we have a little more clarity.
Yeah, now they have the information they need to take the best course of action.
Everybody wishing the best for him. We all know how badly he wants to be out there playing alongside his teammates and competing.
And the pit side got the defender off his feet with the pump fake, but couldn't knock it down. Kicks to Labissiere. There's 31 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. He gets that one in the second. And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So for New Orleans right now, we've got Starks. Boss is out there with Big Daddy. And there's Big Red. And it's Lee in at the 5 down low. UNLV.
You know, Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, I mean, I could go on. And you're right, I was blessed to play alongside these guys. They were incredible talents, finishers. And, you know, you don't always appreciate it going through that moment, but the fact that we're all still close and stay in contact.
Here's Boss. On the wing, Starks. Here's Boss. Boom, he jams it straight to
guard who can explode to the rim like that.
Oh, great attitude and even a better. Starks with the rebound. Starks has got 6 rebounds now in the game. And he floats in for the easy 2. A little over a minute gone. The second half is underway. There's Red Hot, covered by Lee. It's good on the putback. Rebounded by New Orleans. Lee's got 14, 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. Bay passes to Starks. Here's Bay. Lock at 6. Boss. And the shot goes in. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Good on the shot. Pelicans leading by 20. Here's Boss. He's got 31. Lee trying to get open. Pass to Kent. Takes the three. Knocks down the three.
Just like that have typified their effort today. Terrific.
And that one hits back iron. New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Passes it to Boss. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Boss is on him. No good with the triple.
It wouldn't surprise me to see him find his touch and still be a factor. Don't count them out yet.
Here's Boss. 33 points for him. He feeds it to Lee. An easy 2 points on the layup.
Low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Lewis passes to Ryan. Back to Lewis. To stop the run, and it's good on the layup. Timeout.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
And that one's good. Freak.
Inside and cash in on a simple basket.
Boss passes to Starks. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
I mean, even from
Orlando's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Freak passes to Hernandez. And here's Freak. He's got 12. Here's Red Hot. Can't connect from short range. Good for basket number 7 tonight.
To flow. Things are only working when he seems to be on the floor.
Here's Boss, and he goes up strong with one. He's got 14. That shot off. Down low, here's Lee, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Now here's Freak. He's got 12. The pass to Best. Pass to Freak. Launches a 3. Good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now. 6.
Right now, whatever he throws up must come down. He's having a great game.
Boss passes to Kent. And they wasted no time getting those. Orlando's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the third. Now, Freak. 15 points in the game. It falls for his 7th bucket of the contest.
Baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
And Lee. Magic shooting around 44% in this third quarter. Pass to Davidson. Here's Hernandez. In the corner, it's Freak. Best passes to Hernandez. Shot clock at 6. Here's Freak. And it's good. 2 points. That shot misses. And Orlando the other way now. It's off to Utah for him after this game as they take on the Jazz. That'll be game 2 of 4 straight on the road. It's blocked, and he gets it back.
And this is what dominating the glass looks like. He just cannot be contained.
Sort of reminding me of a little Ben Wallace action here from his years with the Pistons. He's been that much of a...
That one a little long.
That's one he knows he should have drank.
And here's Fisher. Here's Boss. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
Now these young rookies can get the playing time in lower tier pro games as they continue to develop. But I think still the collegiate game plays a significant role. The experience of going to college, even for a year, can be invaluable.
There are pros both ways, college or the G League. Agreed?
I do. I'm just...
Nice fake, but the layup off the mark. New Orleans has gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. The Magic shooting just 34% from the floor. Here's the bodyguard inside. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him. The Pelicans have gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the fourth. Here's Boss. Starks, right side, and the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him.
Yeah, the screen is the key to that.
Running out the clock. Did you like that, and would you widen its use?
No question it's being looked at maybe for overtimes or tournament games. You know, Adam not shy about exploring.
They get it back. A second chance effort. No good from Lee.
Not his best night from the field, but looking for other ways and finding them so he can chip in.
And he gets it to go. To the middle. Got a piece of it. Here's Starks. Pelicans keep it alive.
Yeah, maybe a little luck, maybe a little.
Starks with the rebound. Here's Boss. Oh, man. Magicians checked in for Starks. Fisher comes in for Big Red. And the professor subbed in for Big Daddy. Launches it. Hands it from downtown. One-on-one here. Macias controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Lee. Down goes basket number 6 for him. Off with the layup. New Orleans has gone beyond the arc 7 times here in the fourth and been successful 3 times. Here's the professor. It's good. Now, Freak. 1:22 left in the game. Best's shot is good.
Tonight, spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Pelicans.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe
take the first game here of 2 that they'll play against this team. Nice to get that first one out of the way and set the tone.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a death. Here's the bodyguard. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here.
Yes, slowly but surely we're getting into the groove of things. But as you can see, Miles had a really good game, had 43 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, but he did have 6 turnovers. But unfortunately, still need to work on that. But I was very surprised about Michael Kent, who had 20 points. I believe this is his career high, with 3 rebounds, 3 assists, shooting 8 for 11. And Stephen Lee with 20 points and 21 boards, shooting 8 for 14. And on the Magic, we have Tyrone Nassius, who I didn't expect to go off as he did. He had 21 points, 4 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a block. And I certainly couldn't guard him around the perimeter because he was a threat from the perimeter, shooting from the 3, as well as being able to drive to the interior and score within the lane. And so, need to work on my defense when it comes to that, but I definitely didn't expect Tyrone to do as well as he did. So that was a pleasant surprise. Fortunately for us, EJ Flores, who is the leading scorer on the Magic, didn't perform as well as he's been doing over the past couple of weeks. He did shoot 50% and had 14 points, but we pretty much clinked him up. And then Alex Lewis, there's a big drop in points that you saw. He only had 9 points. And then the same thing holds true for the remainder of the Magic, where Emmanuel Labissiere had 9 points, shot 4 for 15, which is horrendous. Ruben Hernandez had 6 points, 2 boards, shot 3 for 5, very efficient, but he didn't have as much of an impact when it comes to points. And then Wes Davidson, who had 5 points, shooting 2 for 7. But then Casey Starks on the Pelican side, he did a good job as well, having 14 points, 15 boards, and 5 assists, shooting 5 for 8. I wish he would take more shots and be as efficient in other games, but definitely going to take the win that we got with this one. And then with Dario Floyd, he had 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 1 assist. Definitely had to make some changes when it came to the lineup because Dior Bay was losing the ball very easily. So as a result, I swapped him out and had Dario come in as the lead shooting guard. And as you can see, he was very efficient, shooting 6 for 8, and the points and boards that he got. And then Drew Gill actually gave us some points as well, 7 points, 1 assist, and shooting 3 for 7. I personally didn't expect much from him, but the fact that he was able to contribute definitely makes me happy. Now looking at the box score, it's clear we dominated in the majority of the categories with the exception of the bench points as well as the steals. But nonetheless, I will say we did lose the ball, 6 coming from Miles, and then a lot of them coming from Lior Bay as well as Casey Starks. But despite this, I'm very happy with the outcome of the game. We got very lucky in that Darren Harper is out with an injury at this point in time, and EJ Flores got into foul trouble early in the game and ultimately resulted in him getting fouled out, which definitely helped the team. But I will admit that I do have a little bit of buyer's remorse when it comes to the offensive side of the house, and that coach wanted plays ran through Lior Bay, but he was always losing the ball, which is why I had to swap him out with Dario just to make sure we didn't have any more turnovers than we did in the beginning of the game. But nonetheless, I also find that Leo was calling for a lot of ISOs and not doing anything with it, so it was a lot of wasted possession. So as a result, I really wanted Lior to focus solely on the defensive end, coming up as part of the bench to help limit how many points we give up from the bench. Similar to what we did a few weeks ago, where we took a look at the play types for each of the players. I think we need to do the same thing for Dario, Lior, as well as Casey Starks to make sure that they have the right plays under their belt, so that once we start running the offense, based on their skill types, they're doing the right things. But nonetheless, I'm very happy with this win. Didn't expect it to be as big of a blowout as it was, but I'll take it considering how bad we've been performing over the past couple of weeks. Now, next up, we have the Charlotte Hornets up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Hope you enjoy.
There's Slim, then there's Šarić, and it's Rice in at the 3 spot. So the Hornets win the tip. Here's Cobb. Playing Sacramento, he was nearly unstoppable. Count that bucket. Pick one. Off target with his 3.
Well, he's got a great stroke. That one almost dropped.
That one's in, his first bucket of the game.
Perfect example of how to run the break the right way and get a great look.
Here's Burns. It's deflected, and it's Patterson finishing it off. The Hornets have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. And Cobb gets it to go. To the paint, Rojo. And he finishes nicely on the layup.
The assist.
Nelson floats it up for James. Takes the alley-oop pass. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Here's Patterson. Nice work on the boards, paying off with the
offensive guys.
Bowen, the pass to Elson. His first shot coming late. Basket good.
And that's...
Here's Bowen. He isn't playing a big part of their offensive scheme. 15.5 points a game.
Well, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots.
And the last game against the Raptors in Toronto.
Yeah, but what even was more impressive, in my opinion, was the shot block. By the end, they were afraid.
Hornets leading by 3. Down low. Makes it off the glass. And the rebound goes to the Hornets. Patterson's got 7 rebounds in the game. Here's Cobb. And he banks in the layup. And it's Carter outside. First shot, first basket. He's out of the... Bounce pass, Lopez. Here's Goodrich. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So 1 free throw coming up. Carter looking around. Here's James. 18 feet away and he knocks it down. It's leading by 6. To the right side. Here's Morgan. Here's Lopez. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Feeds it to Lopez. And it's blocked. And he's able to get it back. And the shot goes in. Yes, that goes in.
Really controlling this game.
Goodrich against James. The 17-footer. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim. Again, James missing.
And they've got a big lead, not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding numbers as well.
Lopez, count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well. Now here's Goodrich. And we're about a minute into the second quarter of play.
Another bucket down low. They've been the aggressors, taking the ball inside and attacking at the rim.
And that one, good. The shot, no good. The Cavaliers trail by 13. From deep, James with the tip. It's good on the putback. Here's Elson. Over Cobb. Here's Bowen. Second chance shot, and he sinks the layup. Shot. Some solid defense from Šarić. And so James will bring it up for the Cavaliers. A 12-point game. Next up on the schedule, the Grizzlies. That'll be a home game.
Still a lot of ways that this game can be improved with the line where it is. I love the NBA welcoming innovation, but this is something that I think we're jumping ahead of the time.
He dishes it to Cobb. Banked in off the glass.
Has been porous, and that's got to change.
To the middle, here's Patterson, and it's Patterson finishing it off.
And better on that assist.
James, the pass to Šarić. Back to James. It's tipped.
Knowing the kind of competitor he is, I know he's upset with his performance and with the score.
Pass to Patterson. And the layup's good off the glass. 8 points for him. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. There's the pass to Cobb. Offensive rebound. Score it. His third straight basket.
Boy, it's an easy putback to show for it.
To the inside. Šarić. Good, and the assist goes to James. Šarić grabs the board. Šarić has got his 8th rebound here tonight. And here's James outside. Hits the three-point bomb. Mr. moves. Now Cobb. 12 points for him. Just 5 to shoot. Count the basket. He's got 14.
The Flames.
Oh, yeah, and that's what you love about him. He shows no mercy, even with a comfortable lead.
Good on that shot, and with that, the Hornet lead is... Pass to Cobb. High, arcing shot. He takes it up and lays it in. That three off the mark. The feed to Cobb. Score the basket, his 8th. 8 for 13 from the floor. Here's Bowen. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Timeout. Bowen's got 10 points in the quarter.
Second.
Knocked loose. And the Cavaliers pushing it up now. And he stuffs it. What a pass to baskets here. Now here's Goodrich. He has 7. Here's Rojo. He makes another one. That's 4 up and 4 in tonight. Carter, the pass to Stone. Good on the shot, and that shaves the lead to single digits. 27 seconds left in the first half. Fades. Up again. Great positioning on the putback. With 4 seconds on the clock, here's Lopez. And good that time. Play out a little more evenly here in the second. We've got Flash. Houdini is out there with the Prodigy. And it's Cowboy. And it's Šarić in at the 5. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. And the whistle blows.
And nothing to show for it.
Here's Elson. He has 5. Here's Šarić, and he uses the... And again, the Hornets missing.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts. Beautiful job closing.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. They grab their own miss, and that one is good. James, no good.
Can't get anything to fall, but it hasn't gotten him down. I mean, he's still gunning. I guess he's still trying to contribute.
Patterson, that's good. Pass to Graves. Here's Elson. Shot clock at 6. From 12 feet out, and it's in there. Hootie. Now, here's Cobb. James covering. Good work there as it goes.
He's got them in front with another outstanding performance.
Here's Rice. Taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now, he averages about 9 points a game. Here's Patterson, and it's Patterson finishing it off.
Agile play.
The shot comes out, and it's the Cavaliers taking it the other way. Pass to Elson. Powered down with both hands.
Timeout, timeout. And wait to finish.
Lopez, he's checked in for Patterson. Shorty comes in for baddest one. Goodrich, he's checked in for Mr. Moves. And Walker's subbed in for Cobb. Goodrich, that's good.
And not hard from in close.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
The pass to Bowen. Yes, it's James picking up the assist.
There, nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Here's Rojo. They shoot again. Trying to get open is Lopez. And he lays it straight in.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
Here's Romero. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Screen.
And then Greg, the monster dunk to finish it off.
Well, come on, guys. Someone has to rotate over. Defensively, that's just poor communication.
And he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own. James against Walker. The floater, good on that shot, and with that, the Hornets lead. The Cavaliers trail by 10. Here's Stone to the middle. Here's James, and they call the foul, so he's got the and one. James against Walker. He kicks it to Goodrich. Hits the jumper in space. Here's trail by 9. Here's Stone. Dishes it to James. And the basket by Stone. Stone.
The defense struggling to contain them.
Now here's Goodrich. 13 points in the game. He hangs in there and cashes it. Hornets with the rebound. Shorty's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Great pass to set up the lay-in. He's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. James kicks to Carter. Out to the right wing. Here's Bowen. 18 points for him. And the shot goes down.
From the D.
All right, it's a lazy effort. Let's just be honest. Hoping the shooter misses, that doesn't constitute defense.
Here's Zagoratz. Shoots a fader, and Charlotte again with the bucket. A three-pointer off the mark. Hornets leading by 11. Down low. Goodrich, that's good. Small forward position. Now here's Goodrich. It's tipped, and they get it back. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Charlotte leading by 15. And here's Walker outside. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Carter pulls it in. The Cavaliers trail by 18. Pass to James. Looking to get it going, and James throws it down. Pressure on him.
And guys, it's clear though, he enjoys showing off his athleticism. The D can't give him these opportunities.
Oh, that was a strong dunk.
That's how rebounding is always going to be a strength for them.
Greg, he keeps so many possessions alive, doesn't he? Over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Here's Elson. He's covered by Goodrich. Here's James.
Oh, man, challenging the defense.
Here's baddest one. Tipped away. Here we go. James heading to the hoop. And the dunk by James. Goodrich dishes to Cobb. Over to the wing. 5 on the clock. They get it again. Tries again. And the layup is up and in. Cleveland here. Here's Elson. Shoots over Cobb. James on the follow.
Play getting to the offensive glass for the tip in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Goodrich kicks to Cobb. And that one off the back of the rim. And here's Mr. Moves. They double him with Saric. Here's Zagorak. Jump shot is good. A lot of talk about reseeding in the playoffs when you got down to the final 4 teams. If it ensures the 2 best teams make the finals, it would seem to me.
We've seen it happen in the past where the power shifts from one conference to the other, but ultimately nothing better than seeing the 2 best teams play for it. He remains focused on the task at hand.
Listen, we talk about killer instinct all the time. He definitely has it. He's keeping his foot on the pedal here.
Kept alive. Saric, that's good. Now the dish to Cobb. Up and in on the layup. Cobb's got 20.
In the first half, but still none since the break.
Here's Elson. Inside, James. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line. Present our New Balance Player of the Game, Champ.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
He got an extra boost from the grief these fans were giving him here tonight. They were right. Can't get it to go.
He's going to have a tough time hitting that if he can't create a little more space for himself.
From deep, James, good on the triple. And here is Cobb. And the pass to Zagorak. And the 3 ball is good. Zagorak win for the season. This will push their victory total to 20 wins even.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage.
And so it's the Hornets taking care of business in this one.
Well. I definitely thought this game would go a lot differently, mainly because there were a lot of spurts where the Cavs tried to come back in the game, but let's start off with the stats here. We see Bayou had 30 points, solid from a scoring perspective, but if you look at his efficiency, it was pretty much on the verge of being terrible, shooting 13 for 35, shot 2 for 9 from 3. Overall, he had good shots from the line. Then Russell Bowen, who's the highest overall on the team, had 20 points, 5 boards, 2 assists and a steal, and he shot 8 for 17, so he's a little bit under 500, but he missed from the 3. And then we have Lamar Graves, had 12 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, and he did shoot 5 for 6. So if anything, they probably should have got him the ball more often, because I think he got the majority of his points in the paint, which would have been helpful for the team. And then Fab Elson really didn't show up this game. He's probably one of the better people on the team. I believe he is the 4th from an overall perspective. He only had 11 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, and he shot 5 for 15. And then the rest you see the Cavs are running a 9-man lineup, and when it looks like, from what I'm seeing right now, the bench really didn't score that much. And so I was very disappointed, and this is probably why the Cavs are struggling as much as they are in the conference, mainly because there's no production from the rest of the team. They may consider taking other people off the bench, but considering that those overalls are so low, they probably won't do so. But if the expectation is to rely on Bayou James to do it, it's not going to happen just with Bayou alone. So that being said, let's take a look at the Charlotte Hornets to see how they did. Now, if we look at the box score, I really thought that Hendricks had way more points than he actually did in the game. He only had 28 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, and he shot 12 for 21, which is better than what we saw for Bayou. But then what you see here is that there's better dispersion when it comes from a scoring perspective. So we did see that a lot of points came from the paint when we looked at Antoine Rojo, Felipe Lopez, Bob Patterson, as well as Bob Montgomery. But then Radoslav Zagorac actually surprised me with what he was able to do from the mid-range to the three-point, because you see he got 13 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, but he really wasn't efficient. It was just that small contribution which helped put the Hornets over the edge compared to what the Cavs did in their big men, so to speak. Yante Walker, considering what I said at the beginning of the video, I'm rather surprised that he only had 3 points. He shot 1 for 6 and then 1 for 2 for 3, which kind of makes me happy that I did not opt to trade for him. But then other folks that did fairly well compared to what I saw in the past. Marion Goodrich, he had 17 points, 2 boards, 3 assists, and he shot 6 for 21. Not as efficient as we would like, but still he was able to contribute compared to a lot of the folks that we saw on the Cavs side. And so as you see that this team is running, I believe, a 10-man rotation. And even still, there's more production from the folks that are coming off the bench compared to what we saw on the Cavs side. So let's look at the team comparison, and then I'll provide my final thoughts on the overall game. So as you can see, the Hornets definitely outscore them, obviously, but from an efficiency perspective, they weren't that much different compared to the Cavs, with the exception of the three-pointers. Now, Hendricks definitely normally has more stellar games, but even though he didn't, the team was able to back him up and kind of eke the win out on the behalf of the team. So for example, you'll see that the points in the paint are fairly the same between the two teams. What is different is the second chance points, and that's mainly because the Hornets have a lot of big men between Anton Rojo, they have Bob Montgomery, Bill Patterson, as well as a few others that were able to not only get boards, but able to get the second chance points, which helped put the team over the edge. Another factor was the bench, in that there was definitely more depth. As I mentioned before, the dispersion of points between the team was a lot better compared to the Hornets. And you'll see that afterwards, the only difference between the two teams was the fact that the Hornets were able to outboard the Cavs. Now, I know I mentioned before during the analysis of the Cavs box score that Russell Bone was the highest overall on the team, and that's actually incorrect, because Zeke Harrison, who's out with injury for 1 to 2 weeks with a sprained ankle, is actually the highest overall on the team, who also plays at the 3 and the 4, but he's a shooter, and that's what definitely was missing from the Cavs, in that the main focus of the team was shooting shots in the mid-range or getting in the paint, and there was no shot creation from the perimeter, which Zeke is very good at doing. So hopefully he gets well and things change for the Cavs, but right now it's not looking like that's going to happen. And so up next, let's take a look at our final game, which will be the Warriors versus the Trailblazers. Hope you enjoy.
In the right positions to make plays, and honestly, this could come down to who makes the bigger, tougher shots.
Here's Lou. To the wing right side. Pass to Lowe. And the layup falls. That shot, no good. Great D that time from Griffin. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Griffin can't get it to go in. The Trailblazers have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. And down it goes, jamming
that lead pass that gets to him right on the money, whether that's on the run or in the shooting pocket.
Here's Hall. He picked up 30 points in their last win against Sacramento.
Defensive mindset tonight.
Pass to Mack, just 5 on the clock. And it's blocked. And And now the fast break. Griffin with the ball. Edwards, that's good.
Beautiful.
Sweet play.
Here's Lou. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Now the pass to Lowe. The 18-footer is right on the mark.
That's sitting at the mid-range. That's a defensive mistake.
Here's Hall. Checking some stats on him right now. That's tipped. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Hall. Oh!
Yeah.
Weber can't hit. Warriors leading by 4. Here's Edwards. And good work on the boards. They pick up a second chance.
And he gets the easy putback.
Here's Lou to the right side. Weber, the pass to Lowe. From deep. Good on the three-point shot.
And he's playing coming into that one, and then they made good adjustments along the way.
Well, the great thing about watching that game was that we saw it through their offense, and they showed a few different.
It's hauled in by Edwards.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start. Frozen. Guys just ice cold, unable to contribute offensively.
Hall, that's good. Here's Hall. He's got 8.
Oh, yes, sir.
And that
Didn't want to take that challenge on. So I wish we would see more of our stars in the slam dunk contest, but
yes,
I don't think that's going to be the case, unfortunately, as much as we'd all like to see it.
And on the glass so far, it hadn't even been close.
Here's Hall. He's got 10. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7. Pass to Sally. Cuts off the pass. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass. 4-on-3 break. Henderson, no one around him. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot.
Offensive.
He's got so many ways to score in the post. Just nifty, uses fakes. You have to have a body on him every time he's down there.
And the shot. That's a no-go, and he's still looking for his first bucket after 2 shots. To the paint. Here's Henderson, and then Henderson with the...
He needs to get on track if they're going to find a way to win.
Now, here's Neesmith. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. 122 left to play here in the first. Here's Hall. 12 points for him. Good on the bucket.
Sequence here and try to find a way to get on the board.
And so it's Nelson with it. They'll bring it up for the Portland Trailblazers. They trail by 16. Up high to rim. No good.
Well, they've been better than good on the glass today, and there is a glaring discrepancy between these two teams in that area.
Here's Hall. That's in for his 8th bucket tonight.
But I like it spicy.
Here's the Beast. Pass to Big Red. It's through for his second basket. He's now 10. It's the Warriors missing. Trailblazers have gotten off to a rough start here in the second quarter, going just 1 for 5. Second shot opportunity, and the layup is good.
His shooting has been a little bit below par. You think about what this lead would look like.
And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Here's Mr. Moves. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. A nice shot by Wolverine.
For him, it's harder to miss that shot than it is to make that shot. I think he was anticipating a bit of a bump there.
And maybe that'll
Quarter. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Kevin, thank you. Now, we have seen continued growth with the NBA's affiliated leagues the last few years. Think about the explosion in popularity and the G League pathway, along with the unionization of G League players. The league continues to show its commitment to expanding opportunities
to win it if he can make it in.
He's going to have a great shot. And Kevin, he's going to give it everything he's got if he can make it into the contest.
Portland's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Here's Lowe. Happy to see that one go in after missing 6 of his. Golden State's gone 1-3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Gets that one to drop. First one of the game. Hall, no good. Trailblazers trail by 11. Here's Weber. And the lead is down inside. Here's Hall. 16 points for him. Here's Sally. Got it. Good job in the low post. In for another field goal. A sublime. Here's Weber. The basket good off the assist from Nelson. And the Warriors miss again. Trailblazers trail by 11. To the inside. And that one's good. His second leading by 9. Setting the floor for the Warriors. Woolridge is out there with Black Hole. Then there's Red Hot. And there's Bottoms. And it's Edwards in at the 3. It's rebounded by Golden State. Hall's got rebound number 8 now on the night.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Here's Redding. And that one drops for him. And Woolridge pulls it down.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
Hall, that's good. Hall, that one doesn't go. Now Portland takes it the other way. Here's Weber. And he gets it to go, hitting off the back of the rim. Outside Griffin. Right side Woolridge. Shoots from the right block. And he comes up with the deuce.
Like a charm.
Here's Lou to the left wing. Here's Redding with nobody on him. He buries the jumper.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Now here is Woolridge. That one goes. Count it.
Kicking himself for whiffing a bit on that one.
And now the fast break. Griffin with the ball. And he drops it in from the low post. He dishes it to Griffin. Teardrop shot. The second chance effort. And the layup good by Woolridge. Here's Hall. He's got 29 points. Here's Sally. Sinks the triple. Sally's got good.
And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
It's good. And that's now 11 points. Trying his luck from deep. Buries the long-range jumper. Houston pulls it in. Golden State's gone 2 of 5 with the three-point shot since coming out of the break. And he lobs it up. Deft touch on the alley-oop. The pass to Weber. Here's Neesmith. He clangs that one off the back iron in their first season. These are the NBA's rookie scoring leaders. Take a look at Red Hot, 3rd in the league. He typically dominates. And there's Champ, and it's Singh in at the 2. Warriors leading by 21. Here's Houston. Oh, that was something else. It's hauled in by Edwards. Edwards got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Here's Houston. And he drops in the layup off the glass for Red Hot. Here's Houston. Banked in off the glass. The Warriors pull it in. Houston's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Outside, Webster. Offensive rebound, Russell. And a good offensive board. And he doesn't get it to drop for him. And it's Portland the other way. Here's the prodigy. And he makes it look easy to
wake you up.
He is such a great athlete. Inside, here's Woolridge. And they immediately answer back to the inside. uses the glass to finish the layup.
You know, they're not going to play all 48 minutes. You're still going to have your 7 other spots to kind of balance out the roster. I say just let the fans tell you the 5 they want to see, and let's go play.
And it's sent back by Russell. Down low, here's Webster. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. That time at the stripe. Golden State's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Pass to Popovich. Some nice passing by Golden State here. Payton, right side. That one goes in.
That kind of looked.
To the right side. Just 5 on the clock. Pass to Daniel. Portland needs to get off a shot. The Trailblazers with a new shot clock. And that one, good.
Impact on the offensive glass that they did in the first half. It would help them cut into this lead if they could create some more second chances.
Here's Mr. Moves. Count that one.
That's nice vision there.
Can't hit that one. And it's Portland the other way. Here's Redding. He drains the quick shot.
They're going to go up 2-0 in the season series.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Red Hot.
I like his aggressiveness here tonight, especially on the glass. Food tastes good on the way out of town.
And here are the Warriors now, and they can just let the clock run out here.
Cannot argue with the W.
We've got 13 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Russell, and the layup's good off the glass.
Making every effort.
So we see the Warriors taking the lead.
Man, I know the Trailblazers are at the bottom of the Western Conference, but I didn't expect them to perform as badly as they did. Andre tried to do the best that he could. Unfortunately, it was just really him on the team scoring and performing on the defensive end. So as you can see, he had 28 points, 12 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, shooting 11 for 29. Damon Weber, he was just shooting up a lot of bricks, shooting 25% from the field with 11 points, 4 boards, 3 assists, 5 for 20. Max Singh, who was coming off the bench, had 10 points, 3 boards, and 1-1-1, shooting 3 for 9 versus the Warriors, where you had Kenji Hall, who had a really dominant game, shooting for 30 points, had 16 boards, 3 assists, but he was super inefficient, shooting 12 for 27. Despite this, Cole Woolridge, Danny Edwards, they were also able to contribute. And so you see the top 3 all had double-doubles, with Cole having 14 points, 12 boards, Danny with 12 points and 10 boards. But as you can see, Cole was more efficient than Danny, where Danny shot 3 for 10. Now, if we continue to look at the score for the two teams, Rashawn Lowe, I will say he was selling. He had 8 points, 8 boards, but 3 for 14 really hurt the team, as well as Dallas Neesmith. And then even Eric Liu, who we've seen perform very well in other games, he was rather quiet this game, only getting 2 points, shooting 0 for 3, indicating that he only got his points from the free throw line, compared to the Warriors, where even though there's a big drop in points after the big 3, Max was able to contribute with his 8 points, 8 boards. He shot 3 for 4. So imagine if he got more touches, right? Bruce Sally had 7 points, 6 boards, shot 3 for 7. Same thing with Derek Houston, who had 7 points, 5 boards, shooting 3 for 7 as well. And then finally, one thing I did want to note is that another person on the Warriors who didn't go off this game, who normally does, would be J.R. Griffin, in that he was very quiet the entire game. And you can see that in the scoring, right? He is probably the 7th in scoring on the team with 6 points, 5 assists, 1 board. But he shot 2 for 11, which is really bad compared to the standards he's established in other games. And then we also have a few folks coming off the bench, with David Russell shooting 3 for 3 with 6 points, and then Raheem York with 4 points, shooting 2 for 12. So overall, as you can see, the Warriors dominated the game. I think the biggest issue when it comes to the Trailblazers is their ability to hit shots. They made a lot of good looks, or had a lot of good looks. It's just that the shots weren't falling. And I would say that Damon did a lot, or I would say he was doing too much in trying to score and get them out of the hole, which was ultimately impacting the team even worse. But as you can see from a three-point shooting perspective, both teams were terrible. But overall, from a field, Warriors were better. They were able to get to a lot of second chance points. The bench really dominated this game. They were able to get way more boards than the Warriors, and it was just an all-around clinic, as they say, when it comes to how to defend as well as score when you compare the two teams. Because overall, the Trailblazers only shot 26% from the field, which isn't going to cut it, and it kind of explains why they are at the bottom of the league. So a lot needs to change over the course of the season. Will they improve? Is yet to be seen. But if you look at the week, the Lakers had a really strong week in that we were able to get 3 out of 3 wins against the Heat, the Hawks, as well as the Pacers. And then when we take a look at the Mavs, we had a really solid week, winning 4 for 4 against all of the Eastern teams that we went up against, with the biggest win coming up against the Heat. And as we saw over the past couple of weeks, the Heat is a really good team, but for some odd reason, I shouldn't say for some odd reason, I know the reason. We did switch up the lineup, we did switch up the defensive matchups to ensure that if we did lose, it would be a close game. But fortunately for us, the team actually pulled through to get the win as well as we did. Now we want to be able to continue the streak that we have against the Eastern Conference teams as we go up against the 76ers and the Raptors next week. But we'll have to be very mindful as far as how we go about setting up the defensive scheme as well as the offensive game plan. But then with the Pelicans, it was a mixed bag. We had 2 wins, 2 losses. Ultimately, we could have beaten the 76ers, but in the last 2 minutes of the game, we ended up giving up 2 3-pointers, which resulted in us losing the game. And then against the Timberwolves, it was just, we were outclassed, to say the least. And so unfortunately, we didn't win that one, although I was hoping that we could at least be close in that game. Now, let's take a look at the league standings before we wrap up this video. Now, would you look at that? We got some movement on the West with 2 of my teams now in the top 5. The Lakers are now the 1 seed, Golden State are now the 2 seed, and the Mavericks are now the 3 seed. So the Lakers are actually tied with the Warriors. They have the same record, and they jumped up 3 slots from last week. The Warriors jumped up 1 slot. The Mavs jumped up 3 as well. The Suns actually fell 3 slots down to the 4th. Spurs are still solid at the 5th. Timberwolves jumped up a slot from the 6th, and then the Kings fell down a slot, or fell down 5 slots from the 2 seed down to the 7 seed. And so some key things I want to note is that the Warriors, the Lakers, as well as the Mavs, they're on a 6-game win streak where the Warriors had a big win against the Knicks, beating them by 18 points. The Suns won 2 out of their 3 games last week, and the Kings are on a 3-game losing streak. Now, when we look at the second portion of the conference, you'll see that everybody else stayed in the same slot, where the Jazz are the 8th seed, the Rockets are now 9th, the Thunder 10th, Nuggets 11th, and then wrapping up the conference are the Pelicans at 12, Grizzlies at 13, Trailblazers at 14, and the Clippers at 15. Now, before we wrap up the West, I would like to note that the Rockets ended their 8-game losing streak this week by beating the Spurs 119-116. However, they did have some tough losses against the Pistons, Magic, and the Cavs, which is tied to another injury that they just had with Damian Sims now being out. So they lost 2 of their key scorers, despite them having the ability to score off the bench. That is a big blow to the team. Now, the Trailblazers, they're on a 3-game losing streak, even though they did beat the Knicks last week, which I don't know how. I'll take a further look into it, considering what we just saw with the Trailblazers up against the Warriors. And then finally, the Clippers are back on a losing streak as well after beating the Raptors last week. So I'll take a look at that further to see what's going on there. But with that being said, let's take a look at what's going on out in the East before we wrap up this video. As always, there's a lot of drama in the East. Seems to be a lot of competition, but one thing that remains for sure is that the Knicks are still at the top of the conference. Now, I will admit, not only did they lose to the Trailblazers, but they also lost to the Warriors last week, which is why their winning streak is currently only at 3 at the moment. But you see that the Hornets jumped up 5 slots to the 2 seed, and they're actually on a 6-game win streak, mainly because of Hendrick's dominance on the court and his shooting capabilities. Bulls have bounced back up. They jumped up 2 slots to the 3 seed, and they're now on a 3-game win streak, after that 3-game losing streak with a notable win against the Wizards. Now, unfortunately, the Celtics lost to the Mavericks, which ended their 5-game win streak, and they actually fell down 2 slots down to the 4 seed. The Raptors won 2 out of 3 games last week, losing to the Pistons by 12. And so I find it odd that the Raptors are struggling, to say the least, because they're losing against teams that they shouldn't lose to, and they're winning against teams that they should have difficulty with. So it really doesn't make sense. But right now, they're currently at the 5th seed after jumping up a slot from the 6th seed last week, which means the other teams definitely struggled on the East, which is why they're in a good position at this point in time. The Bucks lost to the Mavs and the Cavs and end up falling down 3 slots down to the 6th seed. The Hawks fell down 3 slots as well. They're now at the 7th seed. And the 76ers are all over the chart. They were able to beat the Heat, but they lost to the Nets, who are at the bottom of the conference. And they ended up their week with 2 wins and 2 losses, which are why they are currently the 8th seed out in the East. And then the Magic fell down a slot down to the 9th seed. And that's mainly because their road trip out west resulted in 1 win and 4 losses, which includes the loss that they had to the Lakers last week. The Heat and the Pacers are still at the same slots that they were before, with the Heat at the 10th and the Pacers at the 11th slot. The Pistons jumped up a slot to 12. The Wizards fell down a slot to 13. And then the Cavs and the Nets continue to round out the East at the bottom of the conference. Now, we'll note that the Pistons won 2 out of 3 games against the Rockets and the Raptors, and the only loss they had last week were to the Wizards by 3 points. The win against the Rockets broke their 4-game losing streak, actually. And then the Wizards were able to finally end their 6-game losing streak with a much-needed win over the Pistons, although they almost lost that game as well. They ended up finishing the week with 1 win and 2 losses, with a loss to the Bulls. And then finally, the Cavs, they finished their week with 1 win and 2 losses and are currently on a 2-game losing streak. And the Nets continue to struggle without Adrian Hall, but they were able to end their 8-game losing streak with a dominating win against the 76ers, which doesn't make any sense, but they beat the 76ers by 36 points. And so they ended up losing to the Pelicans by 20, as we saw. Well, we didn't see that. I saw that. And then they finished the week out with 1 win and 2 losses. But overall, it was a great week on the Eastern side as far as movement and competition. Now, if you made it to the end of this video, please leave a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think about what's panning out for the season. I want to give a shout out to Hoodie Sean, because Kenji Hall is his creation. I also want to give a shout out to YG the Beast, because Bayou James is his creation. And as always, I enjoy making these videos. I hope you enjoy watching these videos. And until next week, hope you have a good one. Later.